things change except barbers, the ways of barbers, and the surroundings of barbers. These never change. What one experiences in a barber shop the first time he enters one is what he always experiences in a barber shop afterward, till the end of his days. I got shaved this morning as usual. A man approached the door from Jones Street as I approached it from Main, a thing that always happens. I hurried up, but it was of no use. He entered the door one little step ahead of me. I followed him in on his heels and saw him take the only vacant chair, the one presided over by the best barber. It always happened so. I sat down, hoping that I might fall heir to the chair belonging to the better of the remaining two barbers, for he had already begun combing his man's hair, while his comrade was not yet quite done rubbing up and oiling his customer's locks. I watched the probabilities with strong interest. When I saw that number 2 was gaining on number 1, my interest grew to solicitude. When number 1 stopped a moment to make change of a bath ticket for a newcomer and lost ground in the race, my solicitude rose to anxiety. And when number 1 caught up again, and both he and his comrade were pulling the towels away and brushing the powder from their customers' cheeks, and it was about an even thing which one would say next first, my breath stood still with the suspense. But when, at the final culminating moment, number 1 stopped to pass a comb a couple of times through his customer's eyebrows, I saw that he had lost the race by a single instant, and I rose indignant and quitted the shop to keep from falling into the hands of number 2. For I have none of that enviable firmness that enables a man to look calmly into the eyes of a waiting barber and tell him he will wait for his fellow barber's chair. I stayed out 15 minutes, and then went back, hoping for better luck. Of course, all the chairs were occupied now, and 4 men sat waiting, silent, unsociable, distraught, and looking bored, as men always do who are waiting their turn at a barber's shop. I sat down in one of the iron-armed compartments of an old sofa, and put in the time for a while, reading the framed advertisements of all sorts of quack nostrums for dyeing and coloring the hair. Then I read the greasy names on the Private Bay rum bottles, read the names and noted the numbers on the private shaving cups in the pigeonholes, studied stained and damaged cheap prints on the walls of bottles, early presidents, and voluptuous recumbent sultans, and the tiresome and everlasting young girl putting her grandfather's spectacles on, execrated in my heart the cheerful canary and the distracting parrot that few barber shops are without. Finally, I searched out the last dilapidated of the last year's illustrated papers that littered the foul center table, and conned their unjustifiable misrepresentations of old forgotten events. At last my turn came. A voice said, "Next," and I surrendered to number 2, of course. I said meekly that I was in a hurry, and it affected him as strongly as if he had never heard it. He shoved up my head and put a napkin under it. He plowed his fingers into my collar and fixed a towel there. He explored my hair with his claws and suggested that it needed trimming. I said I did not want it trimmed. He explored again and said it was pretty long for the present style. Better have a little taken off. It needed it behind especially. I said I'd cut it only a week before. He yearned over it reflectively a moment and then asked with a disparaging manner, "Who cut it?" I came back at him promptly with a, "You did. I had him there." Then he lathered one side of my face thoroughly, and was about to lather the other, when a dog fight attracted his attention, and he ran to the window and stayed and saw it out, losing 2 shillings on the resultant bets with the other barbers, a thing which gave me great satisfaction. I heard the whistles blow for noon, and knew I was 5 minutes too late for the train. Then he snatched away the towel, brushed it lightly about my face, passed his comb through my eyebrows once more, and gaily sang out, "Next!" This barber fell down and died of apoplexy. I'm waiting over a day for my revenge. I'm going to attend his funeral.